Hi, Christine here, and I just want to talk to you about can AI, because we all know what the Prime Minister of the UK has said yesterday in his speech that AI is going to be in the UK, but it's going to be the superpower, that England is going to be really the major superpower regarding AI, for example. And I just want to just go through a few things here with you just to get some clarification to help us to get clarification about this new announcement, which really has been going on for some time. Now, the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, said about UK is going to become the new AI superpower. But what we got to think about, there's lots of things, lots of sections to this, okay? There's healthcare, of course, there's the public services, there's all the other different services, for example. But what I really also was thinking about today after listening and doing my research as usual is about the NHS was chosen for, well, I believe, and from the videos that I've been listening to and research, I believe it was chosen, UK was chosen because it has, for the NHS part anyway, is because it has the largest bio data bank. For example, I'm going to explain this to you, and you'll see from other videos, because it's not just me talking about this is on other videos. I'm here to just raise awareness so that we're looking at all aspects of this, and I just thought I'd jump and do this quick video here before I have my meeting. For example, United Kingdom, the NHS has the largest bio data bank where it's all in one place. Now, if it was America, because America has so many different hospitals, for example, than what the UK has, so it's hard to get all the information together, for example, and not everyone would give that information, for example, without a big charge, for example. Now, this is like we're talking about tech firms will be, in a way, mining the NHS data, health records, and they're saying that it will be anonymous, that they won't be able to identify you. But when it comes to location, when it comes to the illness that you have, when it comes to the age that you are, for example, or when it comes to the family, for example, then it can be identifiable. And that is kind of a bit of a concern for me, for example, but obviously I'm not the expert here. I'm just here to just talk about what I'm hearing, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well. But they're going to be going through the NHS archives, and then there's been like, for example, because of the information that we have from when the NHS started up to now and in future, for example, that can be sold for a lot of money. I believe so, because then the AI is going to be trained on our genetics, for example, possibly to help. I like the part where it's looking to prevent disease, looking to cure and get people well sooner. I do like that part, don't get me wrong. I really do think that's amazing. Waiting lists, everything. It's got its pros and it's got its conditions as well. It's got its positives and its negatives. So I'm talking to you today about the negative side of things possibly. Okay? So imagine that you apply for life insurance and you give your name, for example, and you give, your information. Could they pull your information from the biodata bank to let you know whether you're eligible for insurance or not because of the predictability of a possible illness that you may have in the future, not at the time when you do the insurance. I'm just trying to look at things in a different way. I hope you don't think I'm being negative or anything about AI, because I spoke about it yesterday, and there are good sides to it, but also we've got to be realistic and look at things that question these things. What does it mean to have this AI superpower, to have these robotic farms in the UK, factories, for example? And the AI data, the NHS data, I believe is precious, precious, highly valuable, because they can train the AIs to see and gather all of the data, so it then gives a thing for the location, the geographical location of where we are, what the illnesses usually are in that particular location. I mean, the data goes back so many years. It's unimaginable how many years it's gone back. But also, it's also everybody that has gone into the NHS, that there will be this data that is, they're saying archive data that they're going to be using to begin with, for example, to fuel this, for example. And don't quote me, because I'm not a scientist, I'm not a techie person. I'm just going from my humanistic thinking of, well, why did they choose England as an AI superpower? That made it stand out for me. Why the UK? Okay, so I'm now trying to think and look at why that was so. And I believe it's because with regards to the NHS anyway, with regards to the health service, I believe that it was to do with, we have got this data, lots of data. Whereas in America, there's different hospitals, there's private hospitals, for example, there's government hospitals, there's so many private clinics which are hospitals, etc. So they would have to get everybody's information, for example, from all of these different hospitals, and not all of them would provide that information to the organizations that are going to be farming this information. And I'm saying farming because it is where they are collecting this information to put into AI and to train the AI, for example, on, don't get me wrong, there's some positives, but I'm also looking at the possible negatives. And I have to be real and say what I feel and how I'm feeling. I don't know how you feel about it. And I know it is a lot of it is good, but then I'm seeing some of the negative side of it, for example, because you imagine that you've got your history, your family history, for example, and then that is available for it to then be put into AI, for example, so that they can gather this information to help with us, getting well quicker, for example. But it's also, that's the very good part. That is the amazing part, that they can prevent things. They can look at how they can really look at things before it actually turns into something. I think that is absolutely amazing, and I'm just grateful that they're able to do that. But I'm also thinking about, what about insurance companies, for example? If they're getting your data from this AI, for example, and what is it, this data bank, AI data bank, then what is that going to do with your insurance? I mean, I don't know. I'm not an expert at this, but I'm just talking and thinking, because I'm thinking, why did England get to be the AI superpower, for example? Why not America? Why another country, for example? A big country, for example. And it just makes me think about all the other negative sides to it, for example. Even though there's a lot of good things here, I'm not saying that it's a bad idea, but I do believe that there's going to be some negative things that we don't even know about and we're not even thinking about. It's just, we're going into this kind of unconscious in a way, because we don't know we don't have an outcome. We don't have a prediction of what the outcome is going to be. All we're hearing is, yes, we're going to be the AI superpower of the UK in the world, for example. But what is the implications for this? What is going to, by getting all this information, what is going to be used for good and what is going to be used for bad? That's what I'm concerned with, is the bad side. Because we all know that people can use data in the wrong way. We're seeing it all the time: cyber security, data breaches, bad actors, they call them, all of that. What is the cause and effect going to be of this? What happens with this? And I'm a bit concerned about that, even though I was excited yesterday. But I started thinking about this AI and what it can do, and listening to different people and I was actually doing research. Today I've been doing research papers and things like that, and thinking, okay, so yeah, that person, what they've said makes sense, that this is a qualification, they're an expert. This person's an expert, for example. So it's just making me think in terms of how did UK become the AI superpower apart from anywhere else in the world? And it looks like it's because of the archive data, the NHS archives, that is a huge data, and it's a huge database basically, which the AI can use and to help with, things to get better. But also I'm seeing the negative side. And I don't know I don't want to go too much into negative side, but I'm also starting to be aware of things. But there's always, wherever there's good, there's always a bad side to it. There's always two sides to a story. Okay, you can't just believe everything that you hear and think, yeah, that's great. There's also going to be another side to it. So I hope that those that are going to university, for example, will learn about AI, but also help to protect our data, not just become the person who scrapes and abstracts the information. We want lots of people there protecting the data. That, I believe, is a very good university course to do, for example, so that we're protecting against the bad actors. Because it's gonna happen. It's happening already today, and it's been happening for years. People breaking into your data, emails, people hacking into this, hacking into that. So it's gonna happen. But we need systems in place, especially when it comes to this. I mean, that we need to have systems in place so that there's strong staff members that can put a block and stop this from being abused in the wrong way. So I hope that makes sense. And also, we need to look at what the policies are going to be, the security measures. What is the crisis protocols? If something happens, what do we do? How does it work? We need to have that kind of explanation, because it's all right saying AI is going to be the world's superpower UK is going to be AI's superpower, for example. But don't we need to hear the protocols? Because it can't all be like, yeah, this is great, wonderful. But what happens if something was to go wrong? What is the policy, and what is the protocol, and what is the security measures that's going to be in place so that we know that the risk percentage wise is minimal? I'd love to hear someone's thoughts of, how can we make this as safe as possible? What is the risk factor for people's information to be taken advantage of? Because that's another side to this as well. So I just wanted to drop this quick video just to give you my feedback of yesterday. Yes, I am excited about AI, UK, superpower. I'm excited about it, but I'm also now thinking, what is going to happen if the bad actors get in and take over the AI, for example? That is something that concerns me. So thank you so much for listening to my short video today. Tell me in the comments what you think. I am going live tonight, but it is basically about care businesses, what the cost is if you're starting up, something that you may want to listen to later, or just get to know who I am and get to hear me talk and check out my playlist here. But I'm going to be doing a lot of talks about AI. I'm going to be doing research. I'm going back to when I used to do a lot of research, because I love doing research as well. So I just want you to think about that. If anyone's got any specialities that you can give us a comment about, I'd love to hear your side of it, so I can go, oh, that's going to be great, because I would love to know. I would love to hear what happens if someone was trying to break in to the AI that's being fueled by these tech companies to mine the data. What happens? I know that the tech companies know what they're doing, but what happens when the bad actors come in and swoop and take what they shouldn't have? What's going to happen there? Okay, so have a wonderful day, everyone, and I will be doing some more videos on AI as well, because I think we need to start talking about this more rather than it just being thrown at us and let's get on with it. Although we've been hearing about it for donkey's years. I mean, AI has been out from when the laundrettes started. Did you know that? That's where it really started, laundrettes. It started with lots of different things, so this is the future of where it's come from. And I know that we have to evolve and move forward with the times, but also we have to think about AI now, because it's now, the intelligence is, how can I say it? Well, Einstein is highly intelligent. So now the AIs are becoming more intelligent than Einstein. So you imagine you've got AIs that are like 5 or 10 times more intelligent than Einstein. We don't want that situation to happen. Okay, so we're giving them all this information, AI information, and they're gonna they're gonna come up with some things that's gonna really help. But also, we don't want them to become smarter than what we are, because although there's many of us, the AIs are very intelligent as well. And it's just getting me thinking about a lot of things, although I know it's a positive move and it's going to help with the health and the time frame of being seen and the preventative medicines and all of that. But I'm also concerned about what happens if it gets in the wrong hands. I'm also concerned about some people not having jobs because of it. So you have to really start learning a new skill now towards AI if you haven't done so already. Make the change now so that you're not left behind. All right, so I hope that was helpful to you and got you thinking. I don't want to be doom and gloom about this. I want it to stay positive, but at the same time, we have to be realistic and look at things. What can we do with AI ourselves? How can it benefit our lives and not make it into a negative? Let's keep it positive and let's wait and see what they come up with. But I'd love to know how the protections are happening as well. It's good to hear that, yes, we're doing that, but I'd like to know what the protective measures are. All right, so have a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll speak with you soon. Take care. Thank you. Bye.